You're listening to the Midwest Coven Cast. I'm Susie.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Marilyn.
We're three modern pagans stumbling through life and honoring our craft.
Join us in conversations about, well,
just about everything.
And we hope that you enjoy this week's episode. Welcome back, Coven.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
How's it going?
I feel like we're like off our vibe today a little.
Yeah, a little bit. I can feel that.
Yay, low energy. It's that point in the semester for me. I'm just like, we have don't
remind me. We have so little time. And I have so many big projects due.
And I have so much grading to do. And so many students who are behind. And just, I'm stressed out thinking about it.
At least some of the ones that are behind are at least allowing you some time to catch up on the ones that do have their stuff turned in, right? It's kind of a silver lining. Ooh, Sam remembered to do the candle again. Yay!
She did remember to do
Speaking of our rituals, habits, and routines.
Yes, that is what our topic is today.
Yeah,
so
we wanted to return to this.
Right on point.
Yeah. Well, habits and whatnot change over time, and we did spend like a whole episode or two last season talking about this, so we wanted to check in on this and kind of see what we're up to these days.
It wasn't even our episode last year. No, it was like 20 months ago maybe, and I feel like I've changed my habits a lot.
20 months.
Weeks.
I was like, wait a minute.
It's been so long.
Well, we had 13 plus like a 5-week layoff, so that's about whatever.
Yeah.
About
Almost.
So many months
18
ago.
weeks. 20
As we've
weeks,
said many times on this podcast,
it's
what
been
is
a couple weeks into
time?
this
Yeah.
too, so.
Pandemic time.
Everything is an illusion that society just plays along with.
That's right.
I'm woke today. That's why I don't have energy. I'm just like, everything's made up in our heads and nothing is real, and that's where I'm at today, and this doesn't matter because nothing matters.
To be on this tangent, honestly, so I was weirdly thinking of a weird thought today in the shower. So I watched a video the other day that was trying to describe the fourth dimension to us as third dimension beings. And it was talking about how, the first dimension is like a single point. The second dimension is like 2 points connected together in like a line. The third dimension is like us because we have 3 dimensions to us: height, length, width, whatever. So we have 3 dimensions. Yeah. Depth, yes. Mm-hmm. So it was funny because in the shower, because then they also brought time into it. They were talking about how time is linear to us, like a line, because we are in the third dimension. But if we were in the fourth dimension, that time would not be linear, that they'd be able to see time as a, different way, I guess.
It'd be all wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey.
So the weird thought that I had in the shower is...
Would it be like Donnie Darko, where the orbs come out of their chest, and it's all like, ooh, this is the path?
Honestly, I don't remember that. I actually will have to rewatch Donnie Darko, because I haven't seen that in a long time, and I don't think I quite understood it when I saw it. I didn't think very in-depth about the things that were happening in it, so I'd be interested to revisit
I thought a little too in-depth about Donnie Darko.
I went dark with Donnie Darko.
I'll watch it with you, and we can talk afterward.
We should totally.
What was the point that you were coming at, Susie?
So the thought that I had in the shower this morning was the fact that because we are a point in time, are we living in a fourth dimension, not a third dimension? Because we technically at every single point in time are a point in that line. So, are we 3-dimensional beings, or are we actually 4th-dimensional beings? Because we experience height, width, depth, and time. That's another dimension that we experience as beings. So, I don't know. It was a weird thought. Anyways, I'll go off on a different tangent.
on that one.
It's a weird thought. I was like, I wonder if the scientists have ever thought of that one.
I know. Where's the coffee?
Yeah.
I know, what the hell? I didn't make any coffee for us today. Because Susie brought smoothies and I hadn't made coffee yet. So I was just like, well, I guess smoothie it is.
I had an espresso today. I wake up at my 6 o'clock normal time and have my coffee like usual. Yeah. But I'm still not with it.
I'm breaking my habit then today because no coffee. Having a smoothie instead.
You know what, honestly?
Is it good? It's healthy though, right? Is it good for you?
It is good for you.
I don't know. Is it Susie?
It is.
She made
it's
it.
got
So liquor smoothie at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know. I just trusted her.
I slipped a little bit of liquor in there to calm her nerves. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's we did the cookies and cream Kelly LeVeque one, and the only thing that I would have to say that I don't care for is the protein powder mix that I have. The one that I have is kind of chalky tasting, I guess. So that's the only downfall to it being like that. And then also this morning. Well, okay, I'll tell you what's in it. I think it was 12 ounces of almond milk, a tablespoon of chia seeds, a tablespoon of almond butter, a serving of the protein powder, and then a handful of spinach and a fourth a cup of frozen blueberries. And then you blend it up. And it was really actually pretty good. But the only thing is that I think before when I made it at my house, I only did one serving of the stuff. So it didn't taste quite as chocolatey stuff as it did today. But that's okay. I mean, honestly, I experiment with them. I try the different ones. I've tried so many of them. But the ones that I really like, actually more than this one, are the strawberry one that I think it's called Strawberry Shortcake.
Ooh.
But the problem...
I was going to say, I should have tried that one.
The problem is that I didn't have the
oh, that's right.
best ingredient. The best ingredient in that one is the coconut cream, and I freaking forgot it in my fridge at home. So, anyways, next time...
I've tried to incorporate smoothies into my life, like in a regular way, but I'm really bad at it. I'll come to it, and then, I'll take out my blender, and I'll make them for, a few days here and there, and then, eventually it just sits there for a while.
I still have stuff frozen in at the beginning of the pandemic when I was doing the Misfit Market all the time. We made smoothies and soup like crazy. And I still have little pre-made smoothie bags in my freezer from when I was doing that because it got tiring.
Yeah.
You try all the flavors, and for me, I just, even if I like something, I can't eat it all the time.
I think that's my biggest problem, too, is that, I'll try to do something healthy, and then I'll like it, so then I'll do it more and more and more, and then I almost burn myself out of liking it anymore, which sucks, but at the same time, the one thing that I'm starting to kind of just do anyways is, we were talking about forcing, because I wanted Meryl's honest opinion about the shake when I made it. I was like, just let me know if you don't like it, you don't have to drink it, but Sam brought up the fact that sometimes after she drinks so much of a smoothie, it feels forced. You have to finish it.
There's so much sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially when it's peanut butter and protein powder and whatever. Yes, and then all the ingredients and bananas and...
Yes. No, and it's funny because I totally feel you on that.
Your 800-calorie smoothie is ready.
Hope you can finish it because it was $9. No. But no, I think that's part of the thing that I'm trying to figure out too is... what is it that I can stay consistent with that even if I'm not, eggs. I can stay pretty consistent with eggs. Even though I'm not 100%. The fact is that sometimes I don't necessarily like consuming the eggs because I've had them so much. But at the same time, that's something that I can still bring myself to consume and not feel
But eggs are versatile. You could, put them on potatoes. You can put them on toast. You can scramble them and add cheese or...
use them in some cookies.
Well, that's why
you could bake some stuff.
It's very true. Like you said. That's the thing. I feel that's why I try to get so many of these damn recipes for these smoothies because then I can kind of do
mix it
an
up.
egg made like this on Monday and then this smoothie on Tuesday and then an egg made like this on Wednesday and then a smoothie on Wednesday.
One of my big things about smoothies is I don't like having to wash my freaking blender.
One of my things with eating is I don't like to wash things.
Maybe this is kind of born of the kind of blender that I've had for so long, but there are the gaskets and things like that. You need to take those out every once in a while because they'll grow yucky stuff, and then you're gonna open it one day after you've just rinsed it a few times, and then it's gonna be
she's like,
ow!
She's like, what did you just make me? No, you can go look at my blender right now. I promise you, it's good.
I'm just gonna blindly trust you.
So basically, the parts that I take off are the parts that attach to this part, and so I basically just have to. After they're done, I rinse them off really good, so all that's left on them is just water, and then I throw them in my dish pan to dry, and then
let it go.
Could you just put some a little bit of coarse salt and some dish soap in there and blend it? and then
You
rinse
could.
it out.
That would probably
You could
work.
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you'd still have to rinse between the gaskets too, but to get like the
right.
crud and stuff off the blender, you could probably just rinse, like blend some soap in there.
Kind of like washing your washer with just nothing in it.
So I think this kind of just leads me to realize about myself that one of my continued habits is to try and insert like healthy habits into my life and then give up on them like in like no time.
I'm very consistent with that.
Sometimes I don't even implement the habits. I just spend a whole good month researching the habits, maybe buying some stuff, and then deciding it's not worth it.
No. Oh no.
Well, that is something that I kind of have been learning over time too. Is like, yeah, as much as I do like to implement things and be like my best ideal self if I can be, I also realize that it's super unrealistic to be that all the time, and the fact that anything that I even try, I have to pat myself on the back because there's a lot of other days, like especially back whatever, I would never even think to try, like you know. So it's like, you know what? Hey, at least you're implementing this, or at least you're implementing that, like. But
not to boast about like my therapy, but since I did that, I've been a lot better just accepting myself the way I am and not saying that I'm not trying to improve myself anymore, but like I'm not as critical as just the way I am in this moment and being present in that.
that's
a
awesome,
good change
actually.
though.
Well, and that's
It's relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while since I've been able to feel relaxed, so I would definitely recommend therapy.
You said it was cognitive behavioral therapy?
Cognitive processing therapy, I think.
Processing, okay.
But yeah.
Nice.
Probably
Well, no,
should
that's
do
really
therapy.
good because I feel like I personally have always been kind of like I don't know, therapy. I don't know if that would really be.
Yeah. I was, 6 years into my PTSD when I was finally like, yeah, well, I guess I'll do therapy.
Yeah.
I guess I need that because I'm so mentally ill and...
Hey,
Hard
you
to
know,
admit that to yourself, you know?
well, and I don't think that, like she said, I don't think that's necessarily like there's anything wrong. There's just, if there's issues that you want to confront and, you know, figure out why they're making you feel or act a certain way now, then yeah, that's what you gotta do. You gotta delve in and figure out where those traumas lie, and
if
Take
it
care
doesn't
of that
work, try
shit.
again. Try a different one.
Yeah.
Try a different therapist. 'Cause
Right.
I did try therapy when I first got diagnosed. That was part of my like being released from inpatient, was I had to try and go to outpatient and find a therapist. And my therapist that I first had told me that I was better off dead. So we didn't go back to her, and that's why you got to keep trying.
what the fuck?
I hope you reported her. She no longer has a job.
I
Because
was just gonna say, like, how is somebody that's in that field going to give some sort of advice like that? Are you like?
Yeah, she was obviously not a good example of what
therapy could be.
Yes, what type of people should be in that practice.
Yeah. So, I guess, what are some continuing practices that you guys have from, like, last time we had this topic?
Okay, yes. So, there are some that I can say that I have kept up semi-consistently and some that I have kept up very consistently. Like, I stretch every morning. I still meditate when
I should do that, but I don't.
Dude, stretching every morning is really nice. Don't overdo it, though. That's the only thing, because I've overdone it a couple times where I've had to be like, oh, shoot, you know, and then I kind of feel it for a couple days, but... Well, not even a couple days. Sometimes I remember I feel like I stretched something on my back, or maybe it was my neck, too much, and whew, it was intense.
You freak me out sometimes because you do this like back crack thing, and like it just like,
Sam
and it just sounds. I'm like, you're gonna break yourself.
Well, dude, Scott will do his neck. He'll do.
Oh, I know he does. Oh, I'm like,
Well,
you're
I
gonna
do my
break
neck
it.
this way, and I just.
Oh man, yeah. Sometimes my chest will crack if I stretch the right way. It'll go crunch, and I'm like, ooh, that felt kind of good.
That sounds terrifying.
It's kind of weird, but I mean, and it only happens now that I'm older. Like, it didn't used to do that.
Oh my god,
man.
you're getting fragile.
But no, the other good habits that I keep up are meditation. I still do that when I go to work, mostly. I do it at home in a different way. Like, I don't do it quite as, like... Because when I'm at work, I literally go into my own little space, and then I literally just sit there in silence and I meditate, you know? And when I'm at home, I am in my own little space in that, like, in our smoke room, and I am in my own space, but I don't necessarily always feel like I take the time to just dedicate to just sitting there in silence and closing my eyes and doing just thought. Like, I'm always watching a YouTube video, or I'm always doing something on this, or, I feel like I'm always busying my mind when I'm at home. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes I do it in a meditative state, though. Like, when I'm...
Like, you're zoning out? That's probably...
No. Like, I mean, there's times when I'm doing that, too. Don't get me wrong. But there's times in the morning I'll wake up and I'm just so on point. So I'll jump on this and I'll just start going at stuff that's in the computer.
Yeah.
And then I'm, like, feeling like I'm doing it for a purpose, and it's not...
Like, learning something and growing and benefiting. And,
yeah, exactly. But, anyway.
Yeah. I've been trying to, like, write a little, like, it's not really a new habit. Like, I've always written, and so, like, it's a continued habit that I do that. But I've been trying to do it, like, more
intentionally,
regularly. Like, I have so many, like, books and projects that I've started that are, like, creative writing stuff.
Are you picking out some of your favorite ones and trying to continue them, or?
Well, kind of. Well, there's, like, some that I'm continuing, and then, like, I just sort of, like, work where I want to work when I want to work on that thing. But, like, I always try and, like, at least a couple times a week just set aside some time for my creative writing projects. So, I've been doing okay with that for the most part. I mean, there's some busy weeks, like this week I haven't gotten to it at all. Like, but I hope to, you know?
Well,
like,
girl, now that you got your house kind of more situated, you're going to probably be able to set yourself up a space for that. So it'll be easier to come back into.
I've been trying to get, like, my upstairs sort of organized. I'm kind of a chaotic human, but I'm trying to get it organized a little. It's slow, but... Kind of. I kind of moved some of those boxes. You noticed that probably a little bit here or there.
We'll have to trade help. I'll have to come to your place. Well, I mean, obviously I come to your place
I've got a long way to go.
You know what, though? I have, at my house,
whatever works for you, though. Like, if it's your operating level, then, and it's your space.
Yeah. Whatever.
But yeah, so. How about you, Sam?
So I'm still breastfeeding. Where it's in 10 days will be his 1 month birthday, or oh my god,
1 month birthday.
1 year. What is time? One something. He'll be a year in 10 days. And so we've been breastfeeding the whole time, and then we've been co-sleeping the whole time. And so Trevor sleeps on the couch most of the time. And
are you trying to, like, boot the baby someday here so you can get your partner back?
I mean, at some point he needs to get his own bed, but right now it's hard because he has we just have a pack and play, which honestly he's, like, never slept in. Yeah. And it's hard for me to bend all the way over while he's asleep to get him down into it without like waking him up because it's so low. And since I'm the one that has him, it's difficult to get rid of him, and not, so I just don't really have any other option to co-sleep with him, but I don't, it's also easier because we're breastfeeding and because then I don't have to wake up and
right, it's one of those stuck in a rock and a hard place.
But it is nice when Trevor does squeeze into bed with us. So
love those cuddles.
Well, something that we've all been continuing is our podcasting, which can I just say again that I'm, like, shocked that we're pretty much, like, mid-season 2, guys.
Yeah, this is about halfway over already.
How is that even, like, remotely possible?
We're finally sending out our giveaway winners.
Yeah, oh my gosh,
Took us
we are
a little
so
while,
sorry.
But
sorry to the winners that had to wait such a long time, but as you guys all know, we are,
we're A, hot my switches, B, we were waiting on some stuff to come in because we wanted to include them in the Witch Kits. So, they're going out, though.
But
you'll be very happy once you get them. Sorry.
I'm excited, yeah.
They're a little extra.
Sorry.
We're a little extra. And then some.
It was kind of funny because I think when we went into the giveaway, we were like, we'll give away a teeny tiny bit of this and a little bit of that. And we loaded those things up with all the things.
All the things.
So hopefully they'll do
It'll be worth the wait, hopefully.
Hopefully they'll do some unboxings when they receive them. We were going to put a little thing on there to...
That would be so cool. I love watching people do unboxings on, like, the social medias. It would be so cool if someone unboxed our thing.
if by the time this airs and someone already has done an unboxing, we can maybe try to figure out a way to, if we can link it to our website so people can see what was in those kits.
Mm-hmm.
And
Or
kind
like
of,
maybe to the social medias, at least. Like
at least the social medias. But yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So we kind of talked about what continuing habits we have. Are there any habits that we are for sure dropping? We all know we have some of them.
Every day.
She's like, my habit of dropping habits.
Yeah, basically. That is 100% my aesthetic. Hey!
Well, as Meryl was saying, the health thing, you know, like, I've been trying to eat healthier. Like, oh my God. I feel like I went on, like, this obsession tangent for a while where I was so hard on myself about everything I was eating because if it wasn't full of carbs, then it was full of sugar, then it was having gluten in it, or then it was dairy, or then it wasn't organic, or then it was like this whole mess that I got myself entangled in.
That's what I had at one point, where I was like...
I had to let it go. I had to realize that, you know what, when I was a kid, I grew up on Kraft macaroni and cheese and freaking ravioli and, you know, all the bad foods that we are all so concerned about, which I'm not saying, and I'm not advocating those foods, and I'm not saying that I want to live, you know, I don't want to grow Kelly up on those foods.
Those foods have gotten slightly better, though, since our day, too.
They have options, too, in the craft. I remember I tried the cauliflower one. That one's really good. I think there's a few other ones that I tried when they were on the 10 for 10 at Meijer, and they were actually really good. I couldn't tell the difference between them and the regular. But, I shouldn't say I couldn't tell the difference. There was a difference, but, yeah, it was... They're okay.
Yeah, well, I was just talking about the regular one in general, too, because I think they've gotten rid of food dyes in most of them, and, like, they've taken steps to make the actual one better than it was. Not saying it's great, but...
Maybe that's why it tastes different.
It's not the same as when we were kids and it had all that crap in it.
That crap tasted delicious. I wish we could taste comparison them because, man, I remember back in the day, it was delicious.
I feel like...
it's still good, but it's not the same.
There's a podcast on YouTube, Good Mythical Morning, and I think they've done that before, where they've tried, like, the food that they have now versus, like, the 90s version.
I love Brett and Wayne.
I want to check that out. That would be...
I'm not 100% sure, but it sounds like I think they've done something like that, similar to that.
They do all kinds of stuff.
They eat a lot of things on their channel.
Oh, yeah.
We should start doing stuff like that. We should start getting, like, when our kids start growing up, we should get their reactions to the stuff that we used to love when we were a kid.
Dear McDonald's, please bring back your nuggies.
Yes!
Your dark meat nuggies. I want to experience that again and let Kelly try them.
Yes. Oh, she would love those.
Little nuggy nug.
I remember, like, the breading being different, too. Wasn't it, like, or maybe they were just more greasy or something?
They were more greasy because the dark meat was greasier.
Do you guys remember what the fries were like before Burger King updated their fries? Because I don't even remember what their fries even were.
I don't remember.
Like.
They were crispy. No, they were like, I don't even know how to, it's like they deep fried them too long, but in like an addicting way, because like that's what it was. Like that's what you expected when you went there, was like these over fried, like super crispy fries, but they weren't burnt. They were just like, you know how when you over fry the fries and they get kind of like hollow in the middle, and they were like that, from what I remember. Like, and then they changed them.
Yeah,
I remember they had a big commercial that they had like Play-Doh guys on there or something.
Speaking of fast food and dropping habits, though, like that's one of the things that I've been trying so hard to drop and just like failing miserably at doing it, is eating out.
Yes, I can agree.
Terrible.
Kind of both. Like I'm better at it, but I'm still not great.
Yeah.
We just had a whole week vacation, so we ate out a lot, and then we came home in vacation mode. We're like, hey, we didn't spend as much money as I thought we would. Let's keep ordering out every day.
Heck yeah. We're going to be probably ordering out lunch today. So.
I mean, it's a really bad habit.
No. Meryl's going to cook chili. I forgot.
I'm going to cook.
Hey.
Yes. That's trying to be one of our new Friday habits, though, is when we get together for our podcast Fridays, one of us is going to cook the meal. Not saying it's going to be a healthy meal, but at least we're not going to order out.
Yeah.
It's probably better than what you would order. So,
yes.
you know.
And it's saving money and... Well, and that's
Exactly.
why I was like, well, we didn't make plans for today. Usually one of us will take the week. And so that's why I brought my smoothie shit today. Because I was like, you know what? If nobody's planning on doing anything, we'll try it.
I made enchiladas last time.
Oh my God, they were so good.
I made them with Impossible meat, and everyone still liked them, so.
They were good.
They were delicious.
And then Marilyn's week, I think we ended up canceling. But I think you still made soup.
No,
right?
I made soups.
Or was it just the week that she was on vacation?
No, you made soups on that Friday.
Yeah.
Well, she made them
I made
Thursday.
the chicken tacos when you were on vacation.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I made like a cheeseburger soup and like a chicken and rice vegetable soup and...
But yeah, so we've
People
been
had a
trying new
choice.
recipes. We've been trying to,
Yeah.
make that a
I'm
habit.
trying our best. But habits, as Sam and I have already demonstrated, are meant to be broken.
Yeah. Like...
We'll appreciate it when it lasts.
Well, it's kind of one of those things where, like, yeah, you can really appreciate the moment when you're doing it, and when you've done it, it's like, yeah, I'm so good, I did my habit. And then, like, there's days when you don't do your habit, but I don't think that we should really get on the whole, like, shaming ourselves when we don't do our habits. Because, what's the good in that?
I think trial and error is, like, part of what life is, and you have to try something to see whether or not it doesn't work for you, and once you find out if it doesn't, then drop it and try something else. Like, there's no shame in continuing to try something new and failing at it, because that one day you're going to find something you're really good at or that you like doing and that you keep up. Or maybe just trying new stuff is your thing.
From it, Yeah.
Have you ever read the book, or not read the book, but have you ever heard of the book, Failing Forward?
Nope.
It's a pretty good one, and it talks
I've heard
about
the term
that.
failing up.
There's something about failing forward. It talks about how, like, those people that don't try new things or do new things never fail. But, yeah, you have to fail continuously to discover, basically what you just said.
But, yeah, we stopped doing our curriculum pretty much because... We kind of weren't doing it as much anymore anyways, but now I don't even remember the last time we opened it at this point now. But he reads his fact book. He read that the whole, like, car ride on the vacation. He's telling us all these facts. And, like, anytime we go hiking somewhere and they have, like, the informational signs, like, he'll stop and read them. So, like, he'll read about, like, the native animals in the area. And, like, we'll learn about different... battlefields and stuff if they're along the trail, if wherever we go hiking, and like, so he's learned a lot of stuff just like the past week that just by living life and doing stuff. So we're just kind of doing that right now. We don't...
Dude, I feel like I remember hearing a story about a mom that everybody was kind of looking at like, oh my gosh, you're taking your kid out of school and they're going to travel with them for a full year, and they did, and she said that it was the best thing that she could have did for her kid and for her because they had that time, all those memories, they learned so much, they experienced so much life, and yeah, it's just something that you can't learn in school. And... He
doesn't like walking by a sign without reading it, so he'll stop at like every sign and be like, what's this say? And like, he can read most of them by himself now, so...
That's cool.
But... Yeah, so
we're
kind of doing our own thing for school and kind of dropped everything that we planned at the beginning of the year, and then we kind of changed it in the middle of the year and we dropped that, and now we're just doing stuff.
We're just doing stuff.
So it does
we'll be
sound,
helping in the garden, probably.
to warn our listeners, I don't know if they'll be able to hear it or not, but it sounds like my lawn guy is outside. So
oh yeah, he is. I saw him.
So you might hear some like background noise that isn't my fridge for once. But it's that time of the year where he's going to be around a little bit. He just he lives down the street, so he just comes over and does it on his leisure, which is fine. So, but anyways, speaking of dropping habits.
So speaking of tidying and cleaning, whatever, there's a habit about tidying and cleaning that I'm dropping. Okay. So basically, I don't know if that was a bad transition. But no, basically there was, I was in such a strict habit / routine of mine with Mel and Kelly's clothes and laundry, because Mel, I typically always will change out whatever. There's always a lot of laundry.
Yeah.
And so there was a part of me that was every single day doing the laundry, folding it, putting it away, da-da-da.
Oh, you don't put it away anymore, girl.
I started to realize, I was like, dude, I could literally just, all these things that I'm replacing day in and day out on a regular basis that I don't even need to fold or put away, I can just pile them at the end and just know that here lies all the clean clothes.
Dylan's are just in bins at this point, and like if he wants to help me fold them, he can fold them. If not, he can just put them away in his bins. As long as they're in the bins that they belong in.
Yep.
He knows where his shirt bin is, his pajamas. They just get in
yeah,
there.
and we're in pandemic life, so nobody cares if your shit is wrinkled.
That's true, really, honestly.
It's fine.
But I've saved myself so much time and stress by just eliminating those 2 steps of that laundry process. Like, there's still some stuff that I'll fold and put away because it's just convenient to do that. But, like, yeah, it's just so much less stressful not having to freaking worry about some of those extra steps that are unnecessary.
My clothes I wear and then I put back in my closet back on their hangers, so I don't even have to wash them.
I have a little chair that I throw them, and I've only worn them once, and they're not bad. I'll throw it on the chair, and then, hey, they're good.
Yep. I didn't get peed on or puked on today. Okay, this goes back in
Good
the closet, and we'll wear it again tomorrow.
Oh,
That's
my
right. But it is nice to be able to let go of things that are unnecessary, because I remember hearing that thing about, eliminate or automate or delegate. That's one of the things I took to heart was eliminate. If I could eliminate things that I don't have to freaking worry about, that is so much more stress out of my life that I don't have to worry about now.
You know what I've noticed, or habit I've dropped?
Yeah.
Wearing a goddamn bra.
Me too. Well, I have a crop top on now just because I thought it was cute. But normally, I don't wear a bra anymore, especially breastfeeding, because then I can just pop my shirt up and be like, here it is. I don't have to pop my shirt up and then move something over and make sure it's not tight enough. And, it's...
And I just feel like they're so uncomfortable. I spend most of my day, adjusting it, pulling it down or moving it so it's not, digging in or, whatever. And I'm just like, I'm done. I'm done with this bullshit.
You know what's funny about that is I literally was on my YouTube feed the other day, and a TED Talk popped up, and I forget who the girl was that was talking about it, but she literally was like an expert in lingerie and bras. But anyways, she was talking about how wearing a bra, because I always thought that wearing a bra would allow me to have perkier boobs.
Nope. It lets them be relaxed.
Yes, exactly. I never knew that. And so she was basically... Yep, she was talking about not doing it and that,
Booby having people, can we all just agree that post-pandemic, we are free in the boobies?
I'm sorry, lingerie salespeople, guys are out of business because...
Look, if you want to wear them for sexy times and it's going to be taken off within a few minutes, you do you, babe. But
I had my boudoir shoot when I was on vacation last week, and I was like, what do I wear? I don't wear bras or lingerie. I wore this flannel shirt and some Calvins, and I was like, okay, that's what I'm showing up in.
Hey,
Yes.
No bras. Bras are out. Not even for sexy
This is
time.
pandemic chic, bitch.
Sudden trends.
Love it. But basically, we should all be comfortable. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Another
thing I did when I was on vacation was I didn't really have my phone on at all. I had it on.
I need a social media fun so bad.
That's another reason why I feel like I might be a little more emotionally healthy this week opposed to prior life. But yeah, I haven't been on as much because I wasn't driving, but on our road trip I had the navigation on my phone and I didn't want to go in and out of it. Mm-hmm. So I was just navigating, and then we would, be having family time and going to dinner, and so it just was put away, and it was very nice. And so
when time is happening and stuff's happening, that's better than that. I mean, don't bother yourself with it.
Yeah, but that's one thing that I've always had an unhealthy habit of social media. I think since I've had a phone.
Yeah. Well, honestly, that's something that I haven't actually struggled with that very much. Like, I was one that was very aware of not being on it that often. Like, I don't know why, for some reason, I realized early on when I was on Facebook how it was affecting me, like, mentally, emotionally, just me comparing myself to others all the time. And so I kind of steered clear of that shit for the most part for a while now, and it's not anything I regret. Like, there's times now, because now that I have Kelly, I feel a little bit more obligated to, like, post up a few pictures for friends and family just to kind of give them an update on how we're doing and stuff like that. But other than that, like, I tend to stay away from it. But the only thing that I have started doing recently is for us on social media. I like to create content on that Procreate thing that I was talking about. So I have gotten a lot better at, like, getting on there and trying to spread at least a little bit of content out there for us, which I had no habit of before. So,
which I've fallen out of habit on, and I was the one that was like advocating for it at the beginning. Like, we need to post every day. We need to do this. And now I'm like, man, I made a whole group that I haven't posted in like 2 weeks.
But you know what? Honestly,
which kind of comes to the social media calendar that we've been trying to do, but then Sam and I have been failing miserably at.
Yeah.
At least in the last couple
we
of
both,
weeks.
honestly, I haven't either. Like, there's been a few days that I've skipped too. I haven't been like a saint at it either. I'm like, but the thing that I guess I was proud of the fact that at least it was allowing me to have a space to create content and put it out there. I think all of us can relate to this. Like, we're kind of like hermits in our own world, in our own way. And so it's kind of hard to, like, always be trying to interact with other people on social media. I don't know how to say it. Like, I love to interact with people, but at the same time, I don't like to get too caught up in it, and it takes away from my everyday life. Same with the social media content. Like, I like to post up that stuff, and I like to create that stuff, but at the same time, I don't like to feel that intensity of the obligation to have to. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
You know, it's
give and take.
Right. And I loved that idea of the social media calendar too, because it kind of was like a way to keep accountable, and then we'd have like ideas about like, this is what we're going to put out and like whatever. Which I think part of my problem though is we did it all online. And like, I'm not really always great with digital calendars.
Me too.
So
that's why I thought this would help.
Yes. So which brings us to a habit that the three of us have been trying for the last couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not even a month yet.
It feels like it's been a long time though. That's one thing that I've noticed with this thing. As I keep track of it daily, I notice how much stuff I do in a day and how much it, like, slows down time for me. I'm like, oh, that was only just yesterday?
So we should tell everybody what we're talking about, because they still have no idea.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yes.
So, Sam, do you want to tell us? Because you were the one who turned us on to this. And I think you maybe talked about it on the podcast before, but like...
Yeah, so this is my journal / planner / habit tracker, whatever. And it's called Silk and Sonder. And, like, I don't know. I love it, and I also underuse it, so I wish I need to, like, find time in my schedule that I could just do it every day, because at the beginning of the month, it's like, okay, I'm going to do this, and then I leave it out, and I leave it open to the page I need it on, and then, like, the next week comes, and I get less and less consistent with it.
Yeah, I've been, like, off and on with it. How about you, Suze?
I feel kind of the same. I feel like I love that it gives me so many options to get kind of tracked, I guess.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I did feel that little bit of a sense of overwhelm when I wanted to keep track of everything all at the same, like, but I'm starting to ease back on that for myself because I'm realizing it, you know. Mm-hmm. I need to just kind of do one or two things at a time. Like, I tried to fill out all the different stuff, keep up with all the different things, and it's like, dude,
it's oh my gosh, yours is way more filled out. Look at Susie. She's
I know.
Like A+ teacher's pet student.
I have a B.
She has, like, her whole journaling sections, like, done.
I'm impressed.
I have 2 bingos. So I read a book because I read to Kelly like a bajillion books every day. So I counted that shit.
You know what?
Yeah. So she's talking about the self-care bingo, which is one of the pages and activities in the book.
Yes, I'm so sorry, you guys. Good call, Sam. Explain what I'm talking about for me because I did not.
They can't see what we see, girl. They are only listening.
The other one that I have is I turned off my phone. I accidentally forgot my phone at my house today, so I'm counting that as I turned it off because I turned it. I
turned it
way
away from it for the day. Yeah.
Then I have the free space because, you know,
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's the free
Bingo,
space.
bingo.
You know?
I listened to a podcast, and I took the day off social media. So it's like, hey, you know what? That's all right.
You know, I feel like I'm really good about filling in like the days, like if I have appointments or things I need to remember to do during the day. Like I'm really good about filling in the individual pages for stuff like that. Filling out like the pre-month, I fill that out like half-ish way, or not the pre-month, but the pre-week, like the full week sort of snapshot. I should have brought my book in here like you two, but I'm irresponsible. So. But like the mood tracker, I'm not very consistent with that. The
I don't do that
habit tracker, I've been okay-ish with. But like this is my first time using it. I'm trying to sort of work it in. We'll see. I like it so far, but I feel like there are sections that I don't really use much. There are sections that I wish it had.
Did you join the Facebook group?
I don't know.
I invited you both to there's a Facebook group.
Oh, then I'm
for
probably
it,
in it.
And then you
I
can.
feel like I may have accepted.
A lot of people like repurpose the pages that you don't use, and I like some of the ideas, like the mood tracker. I tried doing it this month, and again, I only made it to day 4, and I haven't checked in with it since then about that. So I will probably repurpose that next month and try and see what else I can put there, like a cleaning tracker and clean different rooms each day or something. And
I remember
That's
you
which I
saying
tried that before, and it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I remember you had saying something about how that Facebook group really gives good advice as far as like how to repurpose pages and make it work for you and stuff like that. So I have to check that out because again, it's our first time. We're only a couple weeks into it, but like I definitely see the benefit of it, and I am utilizing it more than I kind of have others in the past. Mm-hmm. And I think it has to do with the aesthetic of it. It's very pretty. It's really beautiful.
It is gorgeous.
The layout's really nice too. It's they have like a table of contents if you want to jump to where you need to go to and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And just the aesthetic of the organization on each of the pages is really nice too. You can really get a lot out of each page, but you can still keep it really nice and concise for you to just glance at and know what it's saying and what it means.
Yeah.
I like the one thing a day thing too that they have on here.
I've been drawing rune stones that I got for Christmas from you, and I've been pulling one a day and trying to draw it. Like I said, I'm not consistent, but that was my one a day for this month, was I was pulling one and drawing it out and then writing the meaning of it and trying to learn more about that.
So one thing that I've benefited / not benefited from this experience is, okay, so I was using the meal plan part to just track what my meals were. Like instead of planning my meal ahead of time, I would just write down what I ate that day. And then I was kind of trying to track if I had any sort of like distinguishing, I don't know, upsets that day, whether it was a headache or a stomach ache or a backache or like a moody phase of mine, or like if I got into an argument with someone or whatever. And I started to notice that, the more that I do eat healthy, the more that I do seem to have good days. And the more that I eat like shit, the shittier days I have. So I do want to try to, in the future, get a little bit more of, again, healthy habit back into my life. But at the same time, so the one that I was going to say this point, though, was the other day, I haven't had coffee, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to rewind for a minute. I used to drink coffee like every single day, and I would have like a decent amount of creamer in there, even sometimes some sugar. I used to have sugar in there all the time, and then I eased up on the sugar as of the later times I had coffee. But I've been off of coffee for a little while now, and the other day I was kind of like, you know what, I just kind of want to have a coffee again. I'm feeling it. I had that milk frother. But anyway, so I tried to make this like new milk frother recipe with the creamer and the cinnamon and I think some vanilla. And I put coffee in it. I tried that new bulletproof coffee. It's actually pretty good, but the taste and the flavor is. But anyways, I got kind of sick to my stomach later on. And I knew that you guys had said that creamer's not dairy, so I was like, okay, well then I'm going to give it a try again, And I still kind of got that weird churny stuff in my stomach. Like, it's just, I feel like a knot. Well, then the next day, because I was like, well, maybe it was the coffee, maybe it's not the creamer, maybe it's the coffee. I'll try the creamer one more time. And I put it in tea. I had like this honey chamomile vanilla tea, I think it was. And I put the creamer mixture in there again that way. And I puked that shit out. Like, it was, I don't know why, I don't know what happened, but, like, I just went to the bathroom and I was like, my stomach feels, like, really icky again, you know? And as...
Maybe there is still something in the creamer. It might not because it's dairy, because it's not, but...
There's something within it, maybe just messes with me.
How much of it were you putting in it, if you were...
Only like a little bit, like out of the cup that's like, you know, out of an 8-ounce cup, I'd only give it, like, I like it to have that little bit of that, like a tan look, you know, that nice creamy coffee color,
right.
but not, I don't overwhelm it though, not like I used to. I used to be able to endure a whole bunch of creamer, even more than I did, and the sugars. I don't know what the heck's up with me anymore, but I was like, ugh, over it. But anyways.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking about how you were using the one a day on the Silk and Sounder. Sorry, I'm going right back to that, but
no, you're good.
How you were using that? I kind of love that idea. I was thinking like I should probably do that with like tarot or something, or like something.
Yeah, keep track of your
like
pull a day, or
or do like an herb a day, or like whatever. I love that idea, and I've been trying to sort of like. Now that I'm out of the broom closet, I've been trying to work in, like, more, you know, stuff. And I live alone now, too. So it's like...
You kind of let your freak
kind of let my... Yeah. So I changed out my altar. I've been doing that, like, this is, like, the third time or so. Now that I have, like, an open, you know, out in the open altar. But, yeah, I swapped out. What?
You swapped it out?
I swapped it out. I swapped out, I had some, like, red...
Poinsettia?
Yes, I had poinsettia flowers in there. And those are very wintry, you know, so I swapped it out, and I bought this new time turner, which I think we talked about on one of the last podcasts.
Yeah, I think
I feel like it's come up. Yeah, and so now it's kind of like featured in there, and it's beautiful, and I like it.
It does look nice the way that it is. And you have my little box that I got you for Christmas with your little...
Yeah.
I forget which shop that is. I'll have to...
And like I have that like other thing on top of it. So it's like, it's weird too, because it's like you and Scott, because that was your Christmas gift and his Christmas gift to me.
Yeah.
I just put together that it was like this a sibling present. But yeah. So I've been trying to like kind of do stuff like that. Plus, I've always sort of recognized the Wheel of the Year stuff to a degree, but now it's like I can't.
I honestly haven't.
I feel like I can't. I always could, but it was always like felt a little
off because it wasn't traditional.
People didn't know, and like we have a very Christian dominant society. And like
I feel like every time I do anything like even semi-witchy, I always feel like I feel like a kid again a little bit. Like I feel adventurous. I feel like
who doesn't
excited,
want to feel that way?
And I feel like kind of magical.
It brings you joy.
Yeah. It does. It's kind of and it's interesting to me to know all the different things that are going into it and what their meanings are, and how when I put that stuff together, what it means to me, and like I don't know, it's just kind of cool to delve into that type of stuff. But then it makes me feel like that weird, almost like when you're a kid and you're playing and you feel like you're alone and you're doing your thing, and then you know somebody's watching you, and then all of a sudden you feel paranoid and you feel like you can't do what you really want to do anymore. It's like that weird feeling, kind of like once people know, you know.
Yeah.
I totally get it. I feel the same way. It's like you feel free to be yourself.
It is. It's freeing, because you feel it's weird, but it is.
We're going back to Silk and Sounder. That actually is one of the things that I've been using, not as much as I could, but I've been trying to use is their like little, I think they call it like the freedom log or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, like you write down like one thing a day that you did that makes you feel free.
I kept up
and my witchiness comes up in that a lot. Seeing Nugget comes in there a lot.
Yes. It's easy for the kids to bring out the kid in us. Like, she makes me sing and dance. And
I act crazy around her.
Oh, yes. And she loves it. Oh, my God.
Yeah, she's obsessed.
She loves her auntie. Oh, my God. I love when her face lights up when she sees somebody, and then she, like, runs at them, like, you know. It melts my little heart. But, yeah.
Yeah, I love when she does that. Like, she'll just run up and be like, Mimi! Yes! She's so cute.
But yeah, no, as far as the altars go, I actually haven't set mine up still. I'm really disappointed. Well, I'm somewhat disappointed because I want to set it up really badly, but I know I want to do it with intention, and I have too much stuff going on
like it's
in my
required,
house.
you know?
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
and I know, and that's why I'm not worried about it. But at the same time, like, I have every intention of wanting it to be done at this point, but at the same time, I have a lot of the things that so I've never actually had an altar before. I've always had, like, things that are meaningful to me, like, on top of my dresser, or, like, on my nightstand, or, like, on this little, like, shelving unit.
I was going to say, like, you probably have an altar in your house that you just don't realize.
Well, they are, but they're a mixture of things that are meaningful to me, and then they're a mixture of just junk that I've thrown. Like, on my side nightstand, I've got, like, medicines and, like, cologne, or not cologne, but perfume.
It's just a carved out altar amongst the chaos.
Yeah, like, I've got a bunch of shit mixed in there that doesn't belong on an altar. So I'm kind of wanting to separate that and make it its own space. And, like, because I remember when the pandemic, like, before the pandemic hit, I went to a thrift store and I found the perfect pink scarf that had, like, Sanskrit on it. I don't even know what it says. And maybe I shouldn't put it on there because I don't know what it says. But it's very beautiful, and it was speaking to me, and it was like, I want to put this on my altar. But I haven't put it on there yet. Like, it's sitting there in a bundle, just
it's ready to go.
It's waiting to be spread out and set up and beautified. But the other thing that I'm waiting for is for us to go on our crystal trip. So I can get more crystals, because I feel like that'll kind of, because I want to get some amethyst clusters and, like, I don't know.
I want to get a geode so bad. They're pretty.
Yes,
like,
that's what I mean.
Like you can kind of see inside it and see the crystallization.
Do you remember we went to Hawaii and they had that one that was, like, so huge. Big? Oh my gosh, I love to see stuff like that. I love to walk into a gem shop because you can just feel the energy of how cool all that stuff is.
It's just so...
I'm excited to go, can you tell?
Not at all.
I need to get my freaking schoolwork done so we can plan it, because that's like what I'm waiting for before we plan both our trips, like our camping trip and that one.
We've got time. I got a lot of cleaning that I got to do anyway, so whatever time we've got, I got plenty to do.
And they just laid off Chrysler again, so...
Oh, so Trevor's going to be home.
Yeah, more vacation.
Hey.
Yeah. So is that a new habit you're trying to pick up, Sam?
Well, so
going on mini vacays?
Dylan did really, really good on our vacation, and I think that's going to be like our,
reward.
Medium for now is, since I don't get to live on a bus and travel all the time, we just have to travel more often now, and that's going to be our, like, medium.
And then maybe you can convince him that the money that you're spending on these Airbnbs to stay at all these places would be much better invested in a bus. Yes.
Yeah.
You'll work it.
You make it work.
Honestly, though, like, I do kind of see the appeal in that life. Like, I cannot deny that it would be fun to do that. Like, although I admit it would be a little bit less, like, Trevor's worry would be, it would be less stable and stuff. I would definitely feel a little bit of the anxiety of the instability of it, I guess. But at the same time, like, there's no stability with him now. He's laid off, So.
Well, he still has job security. They're a union. So.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess,
and they get paid
true.
when they're laid off.
That's true.
They're not. So.
Well, dude, that's freaking awesome then. It's kind of like a paid vacation.
I mean, it has its pros and cons. I don't know. I just don't like conforming to their games, like, and living in the way society wants us to, and living in their box, and buying their goods, and being reliant on all of it. And
It'd be better if, like, it wasn't relied upon so much from the government / mega corporations, and actually mega corporations were way more than the government at this point. Although both have their own problematic aspects to them.
But self-sustainability is the way to go.
Yeah.
Like, and I think honestly a lot of more people are realizing that. Like, at least from what I'm noticing, I mean, maybe I'm only seeing what I'm wanting to see, obviously, because we all tend to do that. But I feel like, I personally have been waking up to it anyways, and I'm glad, because I just kind of feel like, there's just such a better way of living life and enjoying your life than that, and...
Well, you need to be able to feed yourself, house yourself, whatever, to have any kind of stability. And housing, of course, can be on wheels. That's totally legit. But yeah, I think
especially
that's
nowadays,
in part like,
oh my God.
You know, we started the garden last summer, and I'm just starting like my herb garden indoors. You know, like spices are expensive, so I'm kind of excited to, you know, grow my own finally.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
Now that I've been consuming more of them.
Oh, I just got catnip in. I haven't planted it yet, but I'll make a special little pot for you. Or do you even want that in your house?
Oh no, I won't be able to make. Yeah, I won't be able to keep it in the house.
That's okay. I'll just grow it here.
I just harvest them and bring it home.
I bought 2 fake plants yesterday.
Woo!
Because I can't kill those, and now I have plants in my house.
Hey, decorations. Well, I would love to have house plants, but yeah, I can't because the cats.
Yeah.
Dylan, he looked around yesterday after we went to Hobby Lobby. We got new baskets and like little plants and stuff, and we got a new coat rack last week, and he's looking around, he's like, I like these upgrades. Our house is getting fancier and fancier.
But it is nice when you start to like actually spend money on just a few things that you know you really like and use, and not spend all that money on the random junk that you feel like you have to have because they make you feel like you have to have it. Like,
well, I also kind of grew up with the mentality like driven into me that if you have something and it's still usable, you keep using it. So like. We have hand-me-down furniture and, like, all this stuff that we've, like, it's been fine. But now that I've, like, been replacing some of it with more stuff that I actually enjoy, like, having in my space, like, my mood's changed also because, like, I'm happier in my space.
Well, it's so funny how quickly you, like, accumulate things. Because, like, I can completely understand this because, like, our family, we can, but, like, we don't buy like ball jars. Like we save jars that people give us or from the grocery store from like jarred cheese or like
salsa
pasta sauces, like whatever. And like, so like I have a whole like cupboard in my garage. Like it's like a little closet that is just full of like mostly non-ball jars, but we reuse those. You can reuse them. But we like collect things like that, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I think it came from a... Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I have just one last thing. So, like, to, like, hone in the point here, I have, like, Oreo trays from the last, like, couple of months that I've been saving because when you fit them inside of each other, like, you can poke holes, and if you have one of them with holes on top of the other, you can use them for, like, planters, like, starters. So now I'm, like, saving, like, Oreo bottoms or baskets, whatever you want to call them, holders. And I'm just like, oh, this can get out of hand very quickly.
Dude, you're not lying. So now I got 2 things. Sorry, guys, I talk all the time. But, like, so there's one thing that I've been saving. Mom was talking about making one of those little, like, pop-up things with the wipe holders. Yeah. And so Corey and I started saving those, and I just am in the habit of just throwing them down there. Oh, with like the
cap for your baby wipes or whatever.
Yeah,
okay,
so I'm in the habit of throwing those down into this little cubby thing, and I accumulate them, and then they're all there, and it's like, why haven't you just thrown all of this fucking shit away? Nobody would save this. But, you know, Mom needed what, like maybe 6 or 8 to make her thing. I got her 6 or 8 in like the first
Now you're still saving them?
And I'm still saving them all these months later. It's like,
you know what? We should make like a special, just like something like a couple of them as we have them come up. But we could make like a little like herb thing for the kids to learn the herbs.
We can make things out of these things. This is true. I also have a bunch of formula containers, so if we want to do any of those, I got a bunch of those too. Mm-hmm. I thought about making little drums out of those,
repurposed
and like putting things
toys
in them you could pull out, and I thought about doing that actually, and that's why I saved them. But it's like, now I've got all this work to do in front of me that I have to do to make that happen.
Yep.
Do I really want to do that?
Projects.
Yeah, like I got.
Maybe we could make one for the kids and make one for our viewers. We could have it as one of our craft days, and we can like record it and put it on the YouTubies.
And then if anybody wants one, we can send them one for free to get rid of all of the ones that we have.
Or a kit to do it. We'll be like, here are all the tops.
Oh, there we go. You know, maybe
do it with us.
But no, I really do. I think that stems from Grandma being brought up in the Depression,
like they were poor,
they were canning and saving and, you know, thrifty living, and then same with Mom being single mom growing up with 3 kids. It's like she had to be thrifty spender all the way. So it's just one of those things where
it's a habit to like keep stuff.
Yeah, to hoard and to save and to keep. soup into...
You never know when you might need it.
I was the youngest
That's
and the
what
least
bread
favorite,
is.
so I always got the hand-me-downs and the...
Oh, I got hand-me-downs too, girl. I love my hand-me-downs, though. I would get some from you, and I would get some from Candace. And every time I would get a bag of hand-me-downs, I loved it. I felt like it was a bag of treasure.
You're like, I'm shopping.
I went to Goodwill and got everything and didn't even have to go.
There was a lady that my mom got hand-me-downs. I think it was like somebody she worked with's wife. Mm-hmm. But it was like grown women stuff. And I was like in junior high wearing this like see-through lingerie. And like... Thanks, Mom.
Hey. Oh, this is for their bedroom? Well, I don't care. I'm wearing it to school.
No, I wore it as lingerie. I didn't wear...
Oh, you were saying you were wearing like these like lacy things to school.
Just nothing nothing else. Just hey.
My mom didn't want me to wear it, but I did.
Oh man.
I did wear a slip like when I was a little girl outside one day to my neighbor's house and told her that it was my like wedding dress.
Oh my gosh. It was white and silky, right?
Yeah, silk white dress. That's
a wedding dress, right?
what little girls wear on their wedding day.
Makes total sense.
Oh man.
But yeah, so
I definitely need to clean up more and like get rid of stuff, I guess. Declutter. Yes, that's the word that's
I'm in the
the
middle of
perfect
doing
word that I
that
was
right
looking
now,
for.
and if you want to have a spot in my garage sale, you just let me know.
Girl.
When is it? When are you planning?
I'm planning on doing it probably within the next month because there's a lot of stuff I need to do. I need to get a dumpster because there's a lot of shit I gotta throw away. But I want to have the garage sale, I think, before I get the dumpster. And then I also want to order a bed for Mel because I want to replace the one and throw the one that she has away in that dumpster.
If you need
so I
my
got things that I'm like
let me
contemplating. Ooh, yeah, that would be awesome. And
then you don't
tables.
necessarily have to clean out your garage. You could just set up on your driveway.
So, you know what I thought about doing? I was like, dude, all I gotta really do too is like if I price and set everything up at our house and we have it for like a weekend or 2 weekends, and then it's already all set up and I'm bringing the tables back over here anyways, I wonder if I should just like bring some of this shit over here. We can have it up here. We can have a garage sale over here too. But anyways, it was just a thought that was passing. But I know Mom doesn't want one over at her house. But, yeah, anyways. Because I know Aunt Bev was talking about getting some of her stuff in it too. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to get my shit together.
I have a whole half a room of baby shit that I have to get rid of. That is just all too much.
It's the room.
It takes
not
so
that
much
room. That's
space.
my craft room. That's not even the room.
Babies take so much stuff, though.
They do.
And then they grow out of it.
So fast. And you're accumulated with all the shit. And you're like, oh, God, I don't have the time to
told me
have a
that
garage
those
sale.
cute shoes you bought her like a couple weeks ago, those like tie-dye ones are already like too small.
Yeah, well, and I feel like the shoes are the worst because they are the cutest things. And you look at them and then you realize how big they are. And you're like, they're growing. Just keep growing.
We barely ever put shoes on Levi. He has a cute pair of Nikes, and that's about it.
Well,
wears them.
Nugget even for like the longest.
Yeah, she was a
didn't
little
wear shoes,
stumbly.
socks, whatever.
She was a little stumbly in them, but she's pretty good
And
with
then
them
Mom
now.
kind of started persisting that she wear like she's gonna wear shoes.
Yeah.
Well, I think she's right though. She does keep her grip better, and at Mom's house she has the
It is something that's
wood floors, so she was slippy dipping and whatever. So.
It's something that I like her to have and get used to, but at the same time, I don't want her to feel like, she always has to have them on.
I want him to be feral as possible. No shoes, clothes are optional. It's fine. If he's surviving and he got fed that day, it's great.
Yeah. So I have actually been trying to meditate before bed at least a couple times a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's your version of meditation?
So I turn on one of those YouTube like meditation guides. Yeah, like a guided.
Yeah.
And then like most of it's just like breathing exercises and like relaxing like certain muscles or like, trying to take away tension. And, yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Honestly, they help a lot.
That's what I did the night I went into labor with Levi.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't something that I did like normally or ever before. That night, I was just like, I think I need to relax a lot more tonight.
Yeah.
And I was like, I felt like I was like tenser than I needed to be. And I was like, I'm going to put on a guided meditation and try and go to sleep. And like, woke up and I was in labor. And I was like, whoa, okay. Didn't remember going to sleep. Cool. Like, here we go.
There's this one on Netflix. I can't remember quite what it's called. It was, oh gosh, I think it might be just called meditation. I'll have to look it up, but it is basically like guided meditations each episode, and they're really effective. Like, I don't know why, but I think when I meditate sometimes I get a little bit too caught up in my thoughts, whereas if I
was just trying to point out the time. Sorry.
Oh,
yeah,
we should start to wrap up.
Yeah,
sorry.
But no, yeah, basically as far as the guided meditations.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, there's just a thing on Netflix that was really good with the Netflix, or with the guided meditations. And that's what I was going to say, is the fact that, like, when I used to get stuck on meditation because I would get too caught up in my thoughts, but then sometimes if I take a guided meditation, it helps me kind of narrow in my focus and actually relax better. Because sometimes if I have it's almost like that, we were talking about that creativity anxiety, where like if you don't have a guide of what you're supposed to be doing and when and how and whatever, sometimes you get a little bit anxious as far as like options go. I feel like at times that's how my meditating goes. Like, if I'm too anxious and I can't hone in and calm, then I need a guided meditation.
Do you feel like you get more rest when you
a little bit, actually. Yeah, I feel like I dream more, actually. Really. After I've meditated. Yeah, I mean, I dream a lot anyways.
Is it one that you do like and then you go to sleep, or do you do it to go to sleep and then it continues while you're it plays while you're sleeping?
I do it just before I go to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wish I could remember my dreams. I don't remember them very well at this point.
I remember them most of the time, at least for a while.
I here and there, like,
as
maybe once a month.
On, you know?
Yeah, I shouldn't say every once in a while I'll remember one if it's pretty intense, but...
Yeah, well, it's like weird. This is a habit that I wish I did, and I wish I had like the gumption in me to do, but like to write down my dreams. I'm terrible about like taking the time, because first thing in the morning I'm just tired because I am not a morning person. Like, just leave me alone for at least an hour. But the thing about that is, though, that like it's like you remember them more intensely in the morning, and then as the day drifts on, it's like you lose like your little threads of it, or you might just remember like the smallest sliver, but you can't quite like build it back out. But I remember them so intensely in the morning, you know.
I agree 100%, because I wish that like you said, I wish I had like a journal off to the side that I could just automatically go to and just get it all out right when I remember it, because I used to do that when I was a kid. Yeah. And it works.
I did it every once in a while when I was a kid, too. Yeah.
Because I don't remember shit when I wake up anymore. And especially if I try to hang on to it and remember it later and write it down, no way.
Yeah.
All mixed up then. What's so funny is kind of hand in hand with meditation, I've been trying to do breath work. Have you guys ever heard of that? So it's funny because you feel almost like that weird kid again. Like, oh God, I'm doing something that's so out of my norm. But like, I don't know. It does re-energize you if you do it correctly. It's weird, but yeah. There's different ones to do. Some of them calm you, some of them energize you and whatever. But like the power of our breath is pretty interesting to me.
I can't do breath work. It fucks up my anxiety way too much because I can't keep a pace. Like, I can't.
Even your calmness?
I get too nervous, and then trying to control it.
Right.
That it's not relaxing to me to do that.
That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, and especially the beginning. Like, I've done it a few times, but not very often yet. And so, yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, I've tried it. Even when I have my Fitbit, and it has like a mode that you try and match the breath, and it like
you're just like,
and I'm just like,
oh God,
ooh. Yeah, so like I could give it up on that. I realized that I can like find a different tool. I've been trying to use my sound bowl more, because usually it just sits up on the shelf, and like I don't take it out because then I have to get it out of the bag, and so now I'm trying to leave it out more, so then it's just already there, and then I can just like, oh, okay, and pick it up and use it for a minute.
Yeah. I want to like, I've been always sort of fascinated with, like, bells.
Mm-hmm.
Not like a sound bowl, but they have, like, bells that are supposed to, like, be sort of similar.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know. Maybe I get that from Grandma a little bit since she collects them, but...
Yeah.
There's a whole sound room at the crystal shop that we want to go to. So,
Okay.
but they have, like, drums and sound bowls and gongs and, yeah. They have, I think, sound forks and...
I have a set of sound forks at my house, but I don't use them. I thought I might use them, but to be honest, I think I'd be better off with either a sound bowl or, like, I don't even know, something else that...
The gong would probably be fun for the babies.
Oh, they probably would. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fun for us to watch the babies do it.
Until it got annoying. Then it'd be like, okay, guys.
Speaking of crystals, I totally started doing rock tumbling. So I have been doing this for over a month now, and I brought them with me today.
These things are awesome, too.
They
I didn't even get a look
out.
at them yet.
Like, look at this thing. That one is...
That one's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's cool.
Even these ones were pretty cool. This was just a regular clear
With
quartz.
quartz?
That's kind of whatever. But these ones were interesting. I really like this one, too. It's got, like, a glittery section on there.
It's amethyst.
You have the
Ooh, I
amethyst.
love
Are
this
these
one.
citrine?
This
I think
is
they're
so
citrine.
pretty.
I don't know.
Yeah, I love this one.
But yeah, so it was it was a long process, I tell you that. I'll put the, well, I don't want to say it because you know how I am with saying I'm going to put something up on there and I don't. But I'm going to try to remember to put my, whatchamacallit.
Photos of these.
Yeah, my before and afters, because I kind of took before and afters during the process because there's 3 different stages of the tumbling. So, yeah, I'll let you guys in on what they look like and how they turned out. And I also bought another one, like a better one, because I liked the process so much.
A better tumbler.
A better tumbler.
Nice.
So the next ones will be better, and I actually have more. Because the one that I had, actually, I got from a thrift store for like $5. Somebody just had, donated it.
And the rocks were already in it, right?
Some of them were. Some of them weren't. I actually had gotten some of them to put in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a handful of them that were already in there too, and yeah. Anyways, I liked what happened with those ones, but I know that it could be better if I were to be more...
Yeah.
If it wasn't a kid's one. That one was just a kid's one. It was a really tiny one.
Like if you had a more professional.
Yes, if I brought it up to a professional level, I could make some professional grade ones, and I'd have all the grit right. Because, that was what I was going to say, is the grit wasn't right. They only had, like, a couple of the stages in there for me.
Okay.
And so it was unpredictable what was going to work out or not. So, yeah, it'll be nice to have everything concise with everything. And plus, you can time this one on days. You can put, I want to set it for 8 days. I want to set it for whatever days.
Right.
Like,
I wonder if Nuggie's going to have the same, like, obsession with rocks as you did.
she does already.
Yeah.
Dylan likes rocks.
Every time I've brought these out, she's always like she wants them so badly. And I gave her a couple of them. And the first thing she does is try to stick them in her mouth. I'm like,
You're
sorry,
like, all right,
girl,
never mind.
So I took them away. And
you
she throws
cannot
a
be
fit.
trusted.
Yeah, no, seriously though, like, sorry, girl, but you want to put everything in your mouth.
Yeah. But she's probably going to be like you, like, when you're walking around the road, she's going to be like, oh, pretty rock, and, like, collect them as you go.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's funny because Mom was talking about this spring and summer taking her on more walks down to the park.
Oh, yeah.
And
she loves a little swing at the park.
Yes. Well, I think Mel will like that, too, because it'll get her out with some fresh air and some sunlight and let her go and see her doing some fun stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think she likes to go on walks, so. But basically what I was going to say, though, is that she'll probably, like you said, pick up rocks along the way, just like I used to when I was a kid, going to and from school, be along the same paths that I once did.
Yeah. But that'd be kind of nice if you're able to bring her and Mel out.
Her, though, right?
That's true, I guess, yes. Well, no, I'm talking on the walks that we take together with her. She'll be walking along some of the same paths that I walked and picking up some of the same ones, But yes, you're right.
Yeah. But I would think that would has probably been a nice byproduct of you not working as much as you've had more time to do stuff like that with both her and Mel. Yeah. Honestly,
that has been a blessing in disguise. Like, I honestly, as much as I was so dedicated to my job, like, I really wanted to be, I wanted to ride that thing to the end for a while there. But I'm kind of glad that I got almost sucked out of it because it was like, it really wasn't working, and I just didn't see that it wasn't working, and until that happened, it didn't occur to me how badly it really wasn't working for me.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to be able to step back and look at my life now and see me so much less stressed, so much less time being wasted on other things and people that don't matter. Like, yeah, I really can prioritize things better now than I ever have.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But it has everything to do with working less at retail.
Yeah, well, you know,
When you start to
it's going to adjust your life a lot.
yeah,
you know?
like when you start to reframe your life into being more dedicated to doing something for a purpose and what you want to do from your inside, like I feel like it just resets everything. It changes the game because, yeah, you start to realize, I mean, and granted, I still work at retail. I still have it 2 days a week. I didn't let it go. And plus I had other income options that became available to me to allow me to do that. So that's why it was an option. But at the same time, like, it's allowed me to be more creative with you guys here, at least, and try to start branching off and figuring out maybe other things that I can do for myself. Because I don't think I had even thought about it before when I was, like, in retail management. I was so busy,
Your
being
mind
stressed
is preoccupied with other things at that point, you know?
Exactly. Like, so preoccupied.
Yeah.
But anyways.
That's why they don't want us to have any disposable income or any fucking free time, because then we might make something or do something that causes competition for them.
What?
What?
We can't have that.
Oh, man. So, ladies, I think, though, as we've gone through this conversation, what's pretty apparent is that as much as things have changed, so much shit has fucking stayed the same.
Especially my constant changing everything.
Yeah, right. Same.
But at least we can kind of relate to other people in the sense that I'm sure there's a lot of other people that do the same thing. Like we'll try to make new habits and we drop some and we try some new ones.
Put your left foot in, you take your right foot out, you put your right foot in.
We'll continue to change and evolve as we always have, you know? That's just kind of how life is, I think.
But I am glad that the paganism has been introduced back into my experience because I also would never have really been doing anything when it comes to that, and I can kind of see more the value of that in my coming years. I like the way that they celebrate stuff. Like, honestly, I feel like it's just so much more in tune with the earth, and it just, it makes more sense. So.
That's what Trevor said, too, because we were watching some YouTube videos about Ostara, me and Dylan, and Trevor watched with us, and he was like, this makes a lot of sense, and I was like, well, yeah, they kind of based a lot of other stuff off of this. Like, this was more... This story came before the other stories. And
right.
It's like, oh, like, that makes sense. Like, yeah.
It does, doesn't it? It just all makes so much sense.
It just makes so much sense.
But I'm glad that it's back in my life now because I think for a long time I just kind of let it go and didn't think much about that either. And,
Yeah, same here. So, ladies, I think we're at that time that we should probably do, like, a small business or, like, whatever shout out. So...
Actually, before we do that, I think we should also ask the audience about their habits and stuff, because I'd be interested to see if they make any comments down below about, like, you know, what kind of habits have they started up that work for them, or what kinds of stuff have they had to drop because it was not working, or, like, what kinds of recommendations might they have for other people, like, especially in the paganism realm, because I'm very unfamiliar with different ways people, you know, generally celebrate. So whatever, any sorts of habits,
your habits,
routines.
Yes.
But anyways,
or breaking of habits and routines.
Yeah, like
what
how
advice do you have? What tools do you What tools do you use? I can't talk apparently.
Oh, you're good.
But yeah, let us know. Shout us out on social media and let us know.
Words are just illusions, too. It's all constructs of societal...
Whatever. I've taken many linguistics and language theory courses. Do I want to get... No, we're not going to get into that.
It would be way
kind of true. You're kind of right, actually. So let's do our small business shout out. Who are we doing this week?
Let's just shout out Silk and Sonder. We already talked a lot about the positives that we have about them.
Yeah, I'm going to continue to use it for a while. So just kind of see how I can work it in. I know there's still going to be like some stuff that, you know, some of it I'll use, some of it I won't. But
I feel like I got to give it a few more months to really get what
see if it works,
yes.
you know?
Yeah.
I'm on
A good try.
month 3,
Yeah.
not week 3.
If any of you out there are using Silk and Sonder, let us know what you think. I've enjoyed them. Let's see if we can figure out where they can find them. Is it just like silkandsonder.com?
Yep, I believe it's silkandsonder.com. silkandsonder.com.
Silkandsonder.com.
Made in California.
They are made in
awesome.
Made in
Made
America.
in the USR.
And they're really pretty. You should check them
They
out.
are so pretty.
Sam made us fall in love with them. And now our lives are getting better because we're using them.
So,
I'm currently doodling on my coloring page that they provide.
Yes.
So thank you so much for listening, Coven. Check out Silk and Sonder. This isn't sponsored or anything. We just like them. So
Let's let
check them
you guys
out.
know about some good things.
We like a lot of things and aren't sponsored by nobody yet.
We don't.
So
You wanna sponsor us?
We're growing.
We're open to
not
that
there yet.
conversation as well. But anyways, yeah, so I guess
Have a
Blessed
great
be,
day.
Coven.
until next time, blessed be.
Blessed be.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Midwest Coven Cast.
Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
And if you love us, consider leaving us a review.
You can also join our coven by following us on social media.
At Midwest Coven on Twitter and at Midwest Coven Cast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
You can also find us at MidwestCovenCast.com.
Until next time, Coven, blessed be.